Okay. Mike, I can't see you, but as long as you can see me, we're good. Okay. We won't spend a lot of time, but just take a moment to find your seat. Today's an even day, as this is now the official start to the class. Today being an even day, cross with your favorite cross. That's what you get to do on even days in my classes, at least. And get that front calf out of the way so that those two shins can really cross at the center of your shins. And then come forward a little bit and press those thighs down. And then can you keep those thighs down, knees down, not coming up, and then bring the hands to the back of your blanket support and roll the shoulders back, lift, not just your chest, though, you know, the legs are descending, the spine has to lift up. And so BKS Iyengar would often tell us that our awareness of ourselves is mainly, you know, the front body. We don't have a lot of awareness in our back body. So right now I'm just asking you to imagine that you have eyes in the back of your head and you can see your back body, or you're seeing yourself from that wall behind you. So really gather up those shoulder blades and move them towards the spine, lifting the response of the front of the body that's the easy part. It can't help when you gather up those muscles, the chest lifts, the sternum lifts. So keep all that. Find your seat, which means, you know, it's comfortable. So find your comfortable, easy seat with that spine lifting up, elongating, and then bring your hands to your chest. Look straight ahead, just eyes just beyond your horizon, and then close the eyes completely. Block out any external noise whatsoever, anything else going on around you, block that noise out. And here, just observe your breath, observe yourself. Have a couple normal inhalations and exhalations, and then begin to make those inhalations and exhalations slightly longer. All the while, you remain in your seat, lifted and broad, centered and even. And your choice to either join me or just listen. On an exhalation, bow your head towards your heart. Release your palms towards your legs, palms up. And then slowly lift the head and open the eyes. Okay. The warm-up is going to be what I'm going to call a comparative study between using props or not using props, and the three poses in this order. We're not going to use props on the first try. Adho Mukha Virasana, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and Uttanasana. So no props on the first try. On the second try, you'll get the props and you'll see what I have in mind. First, just stretch your legs out and iron out the backs of those knees well. Get rid of your blanket support. This is what I mean by ironing out the backs of the knees. Feel how the legs spread evenly and feel like you're, more or less on the center of the thigh. Press the thighs down, ironing out the backs of those knees. Okay, then Adho Mukha Virasana without support. So first just start kneeling up all the way and help yourself. Draw the hamstring up towards the buttock. Hamstring up towards the buttock, big toes together, knees apart, and then have a seat. So the idea is the hamstring stays connected to the buttock flush, okay? All right, now don't be in any hurry whatsoever to get your head down. In fact, the first part of this pose, I want you to just begin looking forward, and you're just gonna make a cup-like, spider-like shape with your fingers and come forward. And now, so I'm looking forward. I haven't put my head down. I'm pushing on the floor with my fingers to draw my hips back. So I'm pushing strongly to keep the hips back. Buttocks down. Okay, if I can maintain that, then I go forward and release the head down. This doesn't change. Keep the buttocks down. So if you're not sure, you come back up. You can do this a couple times. You come back up and you push your hands. So you're pushing your hips back. And then lengthen the ribs forward. Pull the upper arms back towards their sockets and then head down. When I do this first thing in the morning, it often takes me 2 or 3 tries before I feel like I've got the correct action where I'm supposed to have it. The buttocks staying down, the trunk extending forward, the upper arms sucking into their sockets. Those 3 main actions. Okay, so now Adho Mukha Svanasana. So watch here. Oh, shoot. To figure out what I did with my ponytail holder, but that's okay. I extend the hands forward, and I'm going to come up and really, with my knees slightly back from my hips, I'm going to put weight in my hands. So you can see that, and I'm almost kind of dropping my chest just a little bit, though I'm not doing this, right? So keep the elbows sharp, okay? So then, now don't be in a hurry to get the heels on the floor. So you're lifting, you're coming up into like a high plank, right? And then keep pushing the hands forward and the weight back. So here now I'm up on my toes. And I push the floor away, push the shoulders back. Okay, yes, all the instructions generally about what to do with the top of the thighs. Feel as though the inner thigh is spreading on the back of the leg, is spreading outwardly. Spread open the back of the thighs. Move your sternum towards your legs. Okay, then if you can keep all that, keep the height of the hips, maybe the heels come down. Okay, I'm gonna have a watch here. Yeah, move the shoulders back and the shoulder blades deeper into your back and up towards your waist. Work on that some more, Mike. Even you can soften the knees a little bit and move your shoulders deeper into your back. Shoulder blades, that's it. Yep, shoulder blades. Okay, now walk up. And I guess I probably should have said, if you need blocks for concave uttanasana, get them. But otherwise, I've just got my hands about 15 inches away from my feet, and I'm coming forward as if I might topple over. Okay, so I've got my hands in this, still this spider-like action, and I'm pulling my trunk forward. Okay, now I keep that, and I push now my hands into the floor and pull the sticky mat forward where my hands are. I'm pulling the sticky mat forward, and I release the head down. Keep the feet pressing down, keep the thighs lifted. Work the backs of your thighs, spread the backs of your thighs. Pull with your arms so your trunk goes down. All right, now inhale and stand up. Now you have props for all three poses. Let's go ahead and put your 2 bricks at the wall, like that, hip distance apart. Okay, so the first one, back to Adho Mukha Virasana from kneeling. Okay, so then I'm going to put the strap on the ankles and the thighs. Ankle and thigh, and it's really, really tight. You can kind of help pull that hamstring back, push your toes down, and then same way, now you're going forward. Now you have some help. So still, I'm going to push on the floor to bring my hips back. Push to bring the hips back. Pull the front of the trunk, the ribs, the chest, the sternum forward. But I'm pushing still on my hands, pulling on the front of the trunk. Pull the upper arms back towards the shoulder sockets. Reach your trunk forward and head down. If your head doesn't go down, put it on something. I should have said that on the first version as well. Okay, so remember, this is a comparative study. The instructions that, not just me, but any teachers that you take, the instructions we holler out are hoping to bring some intelligence to the body. So you have to figure out what the strap does for you, how it might help you, how it might not help you. And then in your own practice, you decide what you need. All right, inhale and come up, remove the strap. Okay, so watch here carefully. You'll turn around, put your heels on the blocks, the toes on the floor. So you can see this is my start. My heels are on the, and by heel, I mean this bottom of the arch, top of the lower circular heel part. So the heel is right there. Okay, so just watch first, because this is different. So I push, okay, and I've got a lot of length now because my feet are elevated. It's like I have really, really long legs, so I can get a lot more length in the trunk and the hips and the buttocks. So I push. I do my level best to push the trunk back. Then I lift my toes to activate the quadriceps. I lift my toes off the floor. Push, lift the toes, push the hands,
into the floor to reach the trunk up and lift your toes, lift the balls of the feet. Don't let your feet become non-parallel to each other. Keep working on their parallelity. And try to lift the toes any amount. As you lift the toes, you might feel the activation in the front of the top of the thighs, how you can press the thighs back more, work on the shoulders some more, Mike. Shoulders in and into the body more and up towards the waist. All right, what is the comparative study here for you? Does the block help you? You have to work hard in the legs. You have to really lift the toes. Keep lifting the hips up and back. Lift your hips up and back. Good. All right, so you've decided what you need to do there. Okay, come down. Get the blocks out of the way. Put your sticky mat. Let me show you. Oh no, we have one more. I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Comparative study of Uttanasana. One more. All right, I'm going to give you some choices on this because this might be a little scary, not recommended for some of you. So well, I'll do the hard one first. So you'll step up onto your chair. Okay, I've got my feet the width of the chair. I'm safe, I'm holding onto the back chair bar. I press the feet firmly into the chair and I reach the front sides of the chair. So I push the feet, if you can see this action, I push the feet down and pull the trunk closer to the legs. Yeah? Try it. It's like you're trying to break your chair with your feet, pressing so much, and I'm pulling the arms, elbows out to the side. Pin those outer hips in. All right, so that's for people who want to climb up on the chair and have some fun with the chair. If you don't feel like doing that, just do the slanted version, where you're away from the wall about 12, 15 inches. Press the feet forward, pull the thighs up, bend forward, take your hands and move that buttock flesh up and over towards your lower back. Reach forward and then head down. So those are your choices. Comparative study of Uttanasana. Really push your feet and make sure your feet are as wide as your chair seat. Go to the outer edges of your chair seat. Yeah, and now push your feet down into the chair and pull yourself, might hold the sides of the chair closer to the middle of your foot. Closer to the middle of your foot. Now pull upwards. Yeah, pull up on that chair seat. Pull up on the chair seat and bring the trunk in. Trunk closer. Don't hold your head up. Let the neck just go, release over. Yeah. This is one of my favorite ways to do Uttanasana. Are you working your legs yet? Yeah, good, Mike. You came closer. All right. Now you can come up, come down carefully from your chair. And you just need whatever you sit on normally in Upavishta Konasana. Upavishta Konasana, and I'd like for you to be close to the wall. So let's see if I can get this a little bit down. Yeah. So I am, let's see, I use this mat so you can see the colored mat. So I am maybe, I guess about 12 inches
away from the wall. Parallel, my mat is parallel to the wall. And I'm gonna sit down in Dandasana. And bring the legs out. Have a strap nearby. You're not gonna need it just yet. Okay, so remember what I was just saying about the instructions that we give, or the instructions that we hear as students, bring intelligence to the body. So right now, can you feel, without having adjusted the legs, you just took them out, can you feel if you're more on the inside of the back of the thigh or the outside of the back of the thigh? I'm more on the inside, for sure. So adjust your thighs first. So what you want to take is like I'm taking my hands like this on the back of the thigh and spreading from the center out this way. Spread the back of the thigh so that your thigh rests more on its center. And I usually fix the problem leg first. Just a recommendation. Okay, so now I've got the thighs more centered. Now I want to extend the calf towards the heel without disturbing the thigh that I just fixed. So I just reach under there and extend that calf. Okay, hands behind you, roll the shoulders back. Can you feel the evenness, the symmetry on your two buttock bones? That is a must. So you don't feel heavier on one buttock bone than the other. If you do, reach back there, move that skin away. Roll the shoulders back and lift up. Okay, so now you'll be turning to your right. I'll be mirroring you. And the right hand is hopefully going to be able to reach behind its opposite buttock. Can you see here? Opposite hand is reaching behind the opposite buttock. And now I'm turning that. You will be turning your left waist, your left navel band towards the right leg. This is just the upright Upavishta Konasana without changing the legs, keeping that thigh on the center, on its center. Heel on its center as well. The thigh will be a better gauge though. It's a bigger mass. So feel that back of the thigh. And lift your trunk up. Turn your waist. Strongly turn your waist. All right, and then back to center. Arms behind. Okay, inhale, lift up. Exhale, turn to your left. Reach the left arm behind you on the wall. So my palm is turned out. My thumb is up towards the ceiling. My little finger is down towards the floor. I roll that back shoulder back, turn the waist. Eventually, the opposite hand comes to the opposite thigh. But I stay even on the legs. Even and tall. Don't come off the center of your thigh. Press the thighs down as you turn that waist. Navel band, rib cage, chest, and lastly, shoulder, head, and neck. Okay. All right, you have your belt. I just have one big loop in it. And I'm going to put that belt, you will put your belt on the top of the right thigh. Okay, so we want to feel the fold at the top of the right thigh. This is a warm-up for standing poses. So I want you to feel where you're bending from, which is at the top of the right thigh. So all you're doing is putting this folded strap at the crease, both hands, one hand on the outside, one hand on the inside, press down. So you're pressing down and you're coming just a little bit towards that right leg. Can you see that? Yeah. All right, so those of you who can, if you've come forward, you feel like you're bending from that top of the thigh, can you put same hand, right hand along the right shin, opposite hand reaches the right big toe. Turn the waist, turn the navel band. We're not doing the whole pose, but I want you to feel where you're bending from. Keep the left buttock bone down, and remember, you haven't changed this left thigh. It has to stay on its center, pressing it down. Yeah? Okay, come on. Sit up. Fix the legs if they went wrong. Observe yourself there, and then start to turn towards your left. Take your belt, put it at the top of the thigh. Turn that right waist towards the left leg. Both hands on the belt. Press that thigh down and begin to come out over your left leg. Yeah, the other buttock tends to become light. Don't let it. Turn the waist, but keep the buttock down as much as possible. Turn the waist, turn the chest. Okay. Now the hand goes to the calf, same hand, opposite hand to the big toe, turn. You can use the hand that's on the floor to turn, turn, turn that right waist, right navel band, right rib cage. But wait, the legs haven't changed. The back of the thighs down. Okay, and then inhale, come up. Let's just do one quick Baddha Konasana. So you're bringing the legs in together. It's nice if you still have that wall behind you. I may have to come just a little closer to it. And you're reaching behind you. Push the feet together. Lengthen groin to knee. See, I've got my hand on, I've actually got my hands on the baseboard. And that helps me lift my back body. Remember what I was saying about the back body? Bring some awareness into, you have to lift your kidneys, your back ribs, move the shoulder blades deeper into your back. Push those feet together. Okay. Release the legs. Bring the legs together with your hands. Dandasana. Open out the backs of your knees. Good. Now I'm finally warm enough. Okay. So, one block at the wall. First, you're going to stand in Tadasana, but go ahead and put that one block the long way at the wall. Have another block nearby, just in case you need it. Might be appreciated on the tall side. Stand in Tadasana and make a belt. About 8 to 10 inches in diameter, looped. I'll stand this way. Just Tadasana. Oh, stand with your feet little less than hip distance apart, little less than hip distance apart. Put your belt on behind you with your palms facing one another at your wrists. Can you see that? Okay. So what I want you to do is take the arms back and lift your toes. Lift your toes like you did on the brick when you were doing Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift all 10 toes and bring the weight to the heels. Lift the 10 toes, bring the weight to the heels, and then arms back. Can you see how that activates the thighs? I'm gonna have a look. Strongly lift the toes. Lift your chest. Arms back. Now head back, Mike, too. Head back, head back. Don't overdo in the arms if your head is forward. Yeah, so bring the arms maybe just a couple more inches closer to your trunk and take your head back. Head, there you are, good. Now can you keep your head there? And maybe if you can keep your head there, then you can take your arms back more. Now pull against the strap and open and broaden across the chest. Yeah, I said 8 to 10 inches, but you can have it wider as needed. All right, and now Chaya, don't let your ribs come forward, abdomen back. You're doing well with the thighs staying back, but now abdomen back, yeah, ribs back. Good. All right, release from that. All right, just watch here. We're going to be taking several. Let's see how many we get to. I have, I think, 5 planned, but we may not get to all of that. I'm gonna put that there. So I'm going to turn my back to you so you can see what I'm talking about here, but it's all about in these first few standing poses, how we need to get the weight in the back leg, So I'm turning around, so I'll have my right foot at the wall first, which is what or on the block first, which is what I'd like to see you do. Let me see, I have to go here. Okay, so my right foot is elevated. My left leg comes back as it would normally in Utthita Trikonasana. So here's the tendency. The tendency is to start the pose here. I want to start the pose here. So I want to bring the weight to the back leg. I don't know if you can tell how hard I'm working, but I'm working. So instead of here, I bring the weight to the back leg. I have to press the back thigh back, keeping it back, keep the weight in the back leg, and you're coming over. I said you could have that brick here. I forgot to bring it with me. So if you can't touch the floor, and I'm turning my chest to face this wall in front of me, my bottom, your bottom right ribs come forward, the top left ribs go back. And then eventually here. Keep the weight in the back leg. Yeah? Okay, your turn. Step up on your brick. All right, now just be like, even just hands on the hips and just be upright. And with the hands on the hips, can you make the 2 sides of your trunk even? So that right hip has got to lift up more. Right hip's got to lift up more. And the left hip's got to stay back. So demand that you keep the weight in the back leg. Yeah, good. Okay, now exhale. But Mike, you're facing the other wall. Don't face forward. You're facing sideways. Yes, yeah. So your right leg is turned out, your left toes are turned in, and now keep your trunk really even, and now exhale and extend yourself over the right leg. Keep the weight in the back leg. Keep the weight, and watch the height. The people who hyperextend, this is why it's good for me.
It's because I tend to hyperextend that front leg. You really can't. Yeah, and hand on the brick. Okay, now try to think about how strong that back leg has to stay so that you can turn your bottom right ribs to the front. Turn the bottom right ribs and keep the back leg back. Yeah, nice. Reach that top arm up if it's comfortable to you. Broaden and turn the ribs, turn the chest. Keep the weight in the back leg. Press on that very, very outer edge of the left heel. Okay, then inhale and come up. Carefully come off your brick. And then you're turning around. Putting the left foot up on the brick, stepping the right leg back. So when you're first in it, you know, how straight, how level can you make your hips? So this left side has to lift up. You might even, oh, that helps. This is my harder side. So when I lift up the foot that's on the brick arm, it helps me elongate that whole side. Right thigh back, exhale, fold. Remember Upavishta Konasana, how you had to fold at the top of the hip crease. Don't let the weight come to the front leg. Keep it back. Comes to the front leg and then the ribs can't turn. Turn the low ribs. Okay, those of you still working on it, work with that bent top elbow to draw the shoulder back. Good, Chaya, head back, chin away from the sternum. Yeah, nice. Ask yourself, where am I folding from? Not at my waist, right, Mike? Don't fold at your waist. Fold at the hip crease. So those low ribs can come on around to the front and the top ribs can go to the back. And then reach that top arm up. Those of you who haven't, watch that back hip, Sopo, it's got to stay back more. Yeah. Keep the top hip thigh back. Don't let it come forward. And then your ribs go forward. It's the bottom ribs that have got to come forward. Okay, then inhale and come up. All right, do it one more time because that time you were just trying to figure it out. So right foot up on the brick. And those of you, if you have really long feet, you can do this, right? You can do brick and a half, or you can do this. You can put your toes up the wall if that's comfortable. So the toes can be up the wall or the brick and a half. Either way. I like toes up the wall actually. All right, so right leg's up against the wall. You know, let's see. Let me show you, just hold off a second. Let me show you something that I was just seeing here. I'll show you sideways. So what I'm seeing is this thigh rolling forward. The back thigh's got to face front. You can't roll forward or I fall. So this back thigh's got to stay back. The right leg that has less weight on it, it has now the more of the ability to tuck under. Can you all feel that? I think most of you are doing well, but please, if you're not getting it, ask. Turn off your, go to the chat or turn on your microphone. Sure, yes, you still have to pull up the lifted leg, the right leg that's lifted on the brick. You still have to pull it up.
I don't
Yes,
like
so
the
good.
brick. It hurts my backside of my ankle when my foot is up on the brick. So
How
I think
about,
I'm
did you
gonna,
try it with your toes a little bit up the wall?
yeah, then it hurts my toes when I do
Toes.
that.
You know, you could, here. You have another sticky mat?
Yes.
Yeah, you could just take another sticky mat. And roll it. And do something like that.
Okay.
Any elevation is gonna help bring that weight to the back leg. Yeah, that helps. And then I fold. Take your hand here, Soko, and pull that short back. So what I saw you doing was that, right? That back leg had collapsed. Does that make sense?
Was that helpful?
No, it does. I mean, the hip thing does not make sense for me.
Does not make sense to you.
No,
Well,
sorry.
Well, that's okay. When you have the front foot elevated,
Right.
it makes it like you have, your leg is whatever, 3-4 inches longer. So you
Mhm.
have more ability to, number one, keep it tucked under, keep that bottom hip tucked under. I don't think
Okay.
that was your issue. It's the back leg that was coming forward.
And the back
back
leg
leg.
would be this one.
Yes. So let's see. Yeah. If you're gonna have, now, is everybody done the right side? So do the second side, everyone, and then I'll watch Sopo and see if I can help her at all. So right now, and you're just flat on the floor and you're not doing any height, right?
I am. I have
You
another
have the
mat.
front foot up on the mat. Okay. So you've got the left leg turned out,
Yes.
the front leg turned out for Trikonasana. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, so don't change your right foot. Keep it pointing straight ahead like it is. And now go to the left, like you're going. Oh, yeah, that hip just, boy, it just goes forward. So put your top arm on your hip bone.
This
Yeah,
one here?
on your hip bone. Now draw it back as you tuck your left buttock under you more. Draw it back, draw it back. Draw it back. That's a little better. And the bottom ribs have to come forward. The top ribs have to go back. Yeah. Well, it looks like you got somewhere with it. I don't know if you can tell, but.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if it helps in the next pose. Let's see what happens with the next pose. So that would be, yeah, Vera 2. So this is hard for me. So just so you know, and because I don't know what I look like either. But when I have that front foot, I'm going to do the same side you're doing. Front foot up on the brick. Left leg back. So I'm bending from that hip crease. I bend and go down. I bend and go down. I bend and go down. This is work. So I'm aiming groin to outer knee and outer thigh to hip socket. Make sense? It's hard work. It's harder than it looks. Go slow. Go slow. And bend from the root of the right thigh, keeping the back thigh tall. And Karen, push away from the wall. Push way. So before you go over, you're supposed to have all your weight in that back leg. And most of you have to go wider. Marcia, you're okay. But most of you have to go wider with that back leg.
And then when you slowly start to bend the front leg, aim the knee towards the outside of that brick. Don't come forward with the trunk though. Trunk up right over the hips, right up over the hips. Bend and go down, Marsha. Bend, 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 bend in the hip crease. Dig the right buttock under you more, like I have a string on your right buttock bone, and I'm pulling your right buttock bone towards the camera. Right buttock bone towards the camera. Back leg straight, straight, Doug. Straighten the back leg. Lift the two sides of the trunk evenly up. Yeah, knee back a little, Mike, and head back, chest, lift your chest, roll your shoulders back. Yeah, it's okay if the front hand is on the wall and it kind of pushes you away from the wall. Yeah, I don't see very much bend, Chaya. Bend from the root of the right thigh. Now, but don't lean into the wall. Go back, keep the weight in the back leg. All right, switch legs. You guys are getting tired. This is a hard one to hold. Switch legs, left leg up on the wall, on the block. Okay, now just wait there a moment. Face completely forward with your left foot on the block. Turn your trunk completely forward, hands on your hips. Okay, so in reality, the hips are supposed to be level here. So you have to really lift that left hip side of your pelvis up. Back leg, back leg. Now, when you start to bend, you're bending at towards the back of the root of the left thigh. And you're not letting the right thigh come forward. Keep it back, press it back. Yeah, face your door, Karen. Yeah, put the weight in the back leg. Back leg. Yeah, that's it, Mike. Now even up both sides of your trunk. Lengthen upwards both sides of your trunk. Left knee back, buttock forward, knee back, buttock forward. Lift your trunk up, roll your shoulders back, head level, and the arms can go out to the side. Watch that back right hip, Chaya. Back right thigh. It's more where the thigh, the front of your back thigh. Yeah, don't let it come forward. Keep it back. Okay, and then inhale and come up. All right, do it one more time because you're just figuring it out. Now this time, can you try? I guess what I'm not seeing is this part of the pose on a lot of you. I'm seeing that you just start going like this. So I want to see this part. And I don't know what I look like, but you see, I'm 5'7". And I have, gosh, how long is this pole? I don't know. Yeah, it's all my block and my, yeah, look at that. I have to find out how long this pole is. That's probably 4.5 feet, right? Yeah, so have more space between your legs than you need to. Okay, and push into that front leg to keep the weight over the back leg. This is the first time for the first time for first side for the second time. Okay, and now bring your arms out. And now someone's reaching you the other way and bend from the root of the right thigh. My hand just barely touches the wall. Turn your trunk from right to left, ribs right to left. Turn. Yeah. Yeah, the reason why your hand comes to the wall so readily is you're not bending completely at the root of the thigh. This is for hip health. We should ask Marcia some more about hip health. We want to keep the hips we've got. Go back, Karen, to that back leg. Make that back leg work. Yes, there you go. Yeah, dig the right buttock under you more. Turn your trunk from the right side to the left side. Okay, and then second side. Come off your block carefully. Put your left foot on your brick. Yeah, and if your foot doesn't go completely on top of the brick because your foot is longer, I would definitely bend your toes up the wall and make sure your heel is as high as the rest of your foot. Yeah. All right, now Mike, that looks really good there. If you could even out your head. Your head is listing a little bit too much to the right. There you go. Okay. And now take your arms out. You shouldn't be able to touch the wall. Shouldn't be able, barely, just fingertips on the wall. Now slowly bend. Someone's pulling your right arm, pulling your right side back. Bend from the root of the thigh. Go down from the root of the left thigh, the back of the root of the left thigh. Yeah. Julia, I don't see Julia very well. There's Julia's kitty. Roll your shoulders back, turn your trunk left to right. Your ribs, you know, the right ribs should not be in front of the left ribs. Work on that. Yeah. Right ribs not in front of the left. Keep your head in the center, Mike. Good. Okay, inhale and come up. Standing poses work, kind of fun. All right, let's see what happens in Utthita Parshvakonasana. Right foot up on the brick. Left foot way back. You have to do Viro 2 first. If your hand doesn't go to the floor, it's got another brick. Okay, then the hand's going to reach over towards the wall. You have no, but what's nice, if you can you move the bottom ribs forward, the top ribs back, and reach your arm behind your head. Make that back leg work. Give a break to the front leg and demand that back outer edge of your heel stay down. And then reach the arm to the wall. Chaya ribs. Bring your right ribs forward towards that plan in front of you. Yes, yes. Right ribs forward. Come on, Bob. Right ribs forward. Make sure you're bending the front knee enough. Nice, Karen. Yeah. And you can have some support with that hand on the wall, and you can push that back foot back more. Okay, inhale, come up and change sides. Left foot up on the brick. Are you learning something from this work? Okay, good. Because I've done this with a number of senior teachers lately. It's like they're all teaching the same medicine. And Abhi asked us to do some of this in our the workshop that was in the end of September. All right, good. Now, Karen, you look so even. Yeah, nice. Don't look down though. Look up, yeah. Now bend from the root of the left thigh, digging that left buttock under. Then hand to the brick. Keep the back thigh back, outer edge of your back heel, pressing back, pressing onto the floor. And now reach that top arm up. And you can push into the wall to help you ground your back leg more. And that helps you tuck that front buttock under you more. Now turn your bottom ribs forward and your top ribs back. Push the bottom ribs forward, Karen, towards that door in front of you, and your top ribs back, away from that door. All right, one more person to complete the pose. If you're done, just be in Uttanasana. All right, head back, Mike, head back, yeah. Your back leg is too short, it has to go back more. Back leg back. Yes. All right, there you are, you're straight. Okay, now slowly bend the left top of the thigh, hip. There, okay, now don't unturn, keep turning, yes, good. Okay, now put your hand on the brick behind you. Reach that top arm up, push the wall, push into the wall. Uncover those bottom ribs. Good. All right. Okay, last one with the brick. Let's see. I'm gonna just go this way. Don't really need the wall, you know, for the, you can stay right where you are. I just thought you'd have a better shot this way if I showed you from the front. Maybe not. I'll show both ways. I got that brick there. You'll be putting your right foot up on the brick, stepping your left foot back. I like having the wall a little bit because it helps me turn. Okay, and then, yeah, it probably would be better for me to show you from the side view too, but I wanted you to see this side because what tends to happen in this pose is the pelvis falls down. The back of the pelvis goes up. So what has to happen is the front of the pelvis has to go up and the back of the pelvis has to go down. Okay, so then I keep that. Opposite hand is on the front of the pelvis. Same hand as front leg is on the back of the pelvis. And I bend to come down. Then if I can keep that, it's quite nice with the brick. And then arms like Tadasana, and then arms up like Virabhadrasana. One. You might find it very nice. It's my favorite way to do Virabhadrasana 1 lately. You really get the front thigh parallel. That's what I want to see, Chaya. Because without the brick, you never get it. But here you're getting there. Keep going. Keep bending. Keep bending. Yeah, now lift the trunk up, but don't unbend. Don't unbend. Back thigh strong. Press the back thigh back. Nice. Bend from the root of the thigh. Yeah. It's nice to have the wall because you can reach one hand to the wall, Mike, and just work on your stability there. All right, now, Bob, your trunk is almost too far back. Bend and go down from the root of the right thigh. Bend at the crease of the right thigh. Keep going. Keep going. Don't look down. Okay, then arms like Tadasana, and then arms up like Virabhadrasana 1. Okay, watch the shortening of the lumbars, Karen. That lower back has to stay long on your back side, and the front of the abdomen pelvis has to lift up. Okay, now you're getting it, Bob. Yeah, that's it, but don't drop your head. Chin up a little bit. Very nice. Okay, do 2 times each side. Everybody do 2 times, and I'm just watching you and helping what I see there. Make sure your back foot has a big step back. Okay, same hand on the, what is he? Same hand on the front leg. The opposite hand goes to the back of the leg. Here we go. I'll do it with you. No, opposite. Yeah. Whatever works, whatever works. So here. You can't press the back leg back enough. And you see how the front leg is on easy street. It gets to bend all the way, it gets to stay in, and then arms up. Yeah. Oh, wow, 10:30. Okay, that is all we're gonna have time for with that. All right, we're just gonna do a teeny little vinyasa. Watch here, let's see. It's basically Prasarita Padottanasana, Parsvarottanasana, Prasarita Padottanasana, Parsvarottanasana. Okay, so it looks something like this. Whether your head goes down, it doesn't matter, just work what you can. Then you stay down and you turn Parsvarottanasana. Repeat Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn to the left. Repeat and stay. Okay, your turn. Have a wide distance between the legs. Bend forward at the hip crease. Press your hands down and pull your trunk closer to your legs. Elbows in, shoulders away from the neck and head. Just let your head go down. Neck go down. Okay, now turn, stay down, stay low, and turn to your right. Parsvarottanasana. Turn your back toes in, your left toes in. Your right leg turns straight to line up with your trunk. Yeah, stay down, stay low. Both legs straight, straight, straight. Pull up on that front thigh, press back on the back thigh. Okay, and now go back to Prasarita Padottanasana. Briefly, head down. Okay, and now to the left. Turn all the way, so your right toes turn in quite a bit. The left foot turns all the way. Yeah, you can always come up to the concave if you're not sure your positioning is correct, and you can look at where the heel of the front foot bisects the left heel or the left instep, depending on your flexibility. And then head down. Okay, and then back to Prasarita Padottanasana. And can you stay just 1 minute? 1 minute. Because Iyengar would tell us that the outer foot, you have to put like a brake on that outer foot bone. Press down on that outer foot bone. You should still feel the backs of the thighs spreading, the groins opening out. Julia, eventually you should be able to bring your trunk in closer to your legs. Yeah, press on your hands and pull your trunk in. Now work on the right hip a little bit more, child. Lift your right hip up. Right top of the thigh, back. Okay, and now bring your hands to your hips. And then come up. Stand up. Okay, just to prepare for shoulder stand, put 2 bricks like that, the long way up against the wall.
have a strap, a nice long strap is fine. Okay, if you have terribly stiff shoulders and neck, this is how I do it. I put a long skinny blanket right there for my neck and my shoulders. Okay, this is just Chatuspadasana, but your feet are going to be elevated. So you're going to be able to do a little bit more. So remember the blanket, if you're using one, you don't have to, but the blanket is only for your neck and your shoulders. Strap goes around the front of the ankles. My feet are elevated about hip distance apart. Okay, so before I even come up into Chatus, I tuck and roll. I tuck and roll. I tuck and roll. Okay, now I lift. Tuck and roll some more. Pull with your strap. You can see I'm bending my elbows, and my elbows now are pointing down towards the floor. But I lift the buttock crease, I pull the hammy towards the buttock crease and lift. Okay, do this 3 times, stay for about 20 to 30 seconds each time. Pull with your strap, tuck the shoulders, move your shoulder blades deeper into your back. Have a rest. When do you know when to go back up? When your breath is normal. Try again. Tuck and roll, tuck and roll. Your neck should stay flat on the blanket. Don't let your chin go back. You should be able to see your chest. Now, if you don't feel your hammies working, lift your toes off the brick. Lift your toes off the brick. Mike, you've got to be closer to the brick. Be closer. Yeah. Yeah, pull with the strap and tuck those shoulders under. Pin your elbows down. Hamstring to buttock crease. You can't lift too much at the back edge of the buttocks. Lift, lift, lift. Nice. All right, everybody should be well prepared. Hopefully you did 3 times. I'm going to encourage everyone to do this, because I think, as a community, it's hard to teach the inversions being away from you all, but I don't see a whole lot of improvements happening in people's shoulder stands. They're pretty much staying where they're at. So I'd like to work with chair shoulder stand today. I'm going to take my sticky mat. I've got it 4-folded. Fold it one more time. It's going there. I'm going to take a blanket and put it across the back of the chair seat. And I am about 8 inches away from the wall. I take my bolster and put it pretty close to the chair. Yeah. Then, this is important. I really like for you to try to use this today. I'm going to sit in my chair. I'm going to put one strap at the top of the thighs and the buttock crease. Pretty snug, very snug. Okay, and then my second strap is going to go at the widest part of my calves. The widest part of my calves. and also very, very snug. Get that buckle away from your skin. Very snug. Okay, so just watch. Easier than it looks. So you guys can be all ready and you're just sitting like that. If you know what to do, you don't have to do it. You don't have to watch me, you can do it with me. So I pick up the legs and I swing them over the chair. It would be nice if you can get your feet between the wall and the chair. If you can't, you may need to scoot away from the wall a little bit. So watch, I'm scooting my buttocks in that little hole, right? And now I come over here and I go ahead and do the Chatuspadasana action, tucking the shoulders under, and then I stay holding on to the chair until I've got my head is on the blank bolster. So then I know I'm safe, right? I'm not gonna slide off. I bring the feet out and put the feet on the top of the chair or near the top of the chair, here or here. And then I reach one hand, then the other. Then I roll a little bit more and tuck those shoulders under, and there I am. So my whole neck is supported, my shoulders are on the bolster, and then I reach the legs up the wall. Okay, so I can hold on to that chair bar and work that tucking of the shoulder blades, tucking of the outer shoulders towards the bolster. Then because I have this great strap, especially the strap at the buttock crease, I lift that buttock crease up and extend the legs up the wall, as opposed to this. Reach the legs up the wall. Okay, I'd like everybody to be there for at least a couple minutes, or maybe just another minute or so, and then we're going to do the Viparita Krani version. Keep working on how you hold that back chair bar, how you can turn the upper arms completely out so your hands can spin and your thumbs can point down towards the floor. Keep tucking the shoulder blades deeper into your back. Keep reaching the legs up the chair or, heels to the wall. Keep lifting the buttocks up, away from the lumbars. Okay, then you cannot do this or do it, but you'll bend the knees, bring the heels to the top of the chair seat, and then legs up for Viparita Krani version. So the pelvis has a little shelf. So the work is to tuck the shoulders more and to pull your chest towards your chin. Your sternum coming closer to your chin. Don't force your chin to your chest. Instead, let the chest move towards the chin. Relax your neck. Careful that the legs don't come forward. The legs are right over the base of the hips. I'm going to come out so I can see you, but I'll be sure to tell you how to come down. Nice.
Bob, you're listing a little leftwards, just a teeny bit. Yeah. Yeah, and if you're a good shoulder stander and you want to try coming away from the chair and placing the hands on the back, you can do that. But I want to get that shoulder stand action in the shoulders and the shoulder blades for most of you. Thighs back, Doug. Thighs back, back, back towards your chair. Yes, yes, good. All right, now how you come out of the chair is first bring your feet back to the chair bar. And now remove your hands and hold the tops of your chair seat. Just push down on the tops of your chair seat. And now slowly push yourself away. Don't take the shoulder bolster with you. Keep it there. And now your buttocks rest on the shoulder bolster and your calves are on the chair. Wait there a moment. Just rest. Okay, now slide a little bit more until your whole trunk is flat, or you can lift the buttocks up off the bolster and just lay flat. We're going to do one more thing. One more thing. Okay, now gently roll, bend the knees, roll to the right side, and gently come up. Okay, I know everybody has at one point had a most dreaded pose. Well, this was my most dreaded pose. And because I've been working on this hamstring to buttock connection, it's no longer my most dreaded pose. So I'd like to see if it could become your favorite pose as well. It is Purvottanasana. Purvottanasana. So we start, just watch first. We start in Dandasana. My hands are just behind my buttocks. And I've got that good shoulder stand Chatuspadasana action going in the trunk, in the chest. So I'm moving the spinal muscles in and up. Okay, now I have to connect the hamstring to the buttocks, and I have to mightily push my heels down. Mightily push my heels down to come up. Yeah, and down. You want to see it again? It's a joy to do now. I used to struggle. I mean, my legs wouldn't work. It's about that hamstring to buttock. And if you wanted to, you could keep that belt on that you had for shoulder stand right there at the hip crease. That's fine. But it's the hamstring to buttock connection and that heel, those heels strongly pressing down. And you can't help just to lift. So here I am. Okay, so the work is here. Legs. Your legs have a lot of work today, but this should feel good. Should feel good in the legs. Yeah, nice, Bob. Yeah, now head back, try to lift the buttocks, lift the buttocks. Press your heels and lift the buttocks. Press your heels down, lift the buttocks, roll the shoulders back. Oh, nice. Okay, if you did it a couple times, you're good. You can just relax, lay flat. We get ready for Shavasana. Use whatever creature comforts you normally use, whether it's support for the head. Yeah, good effort, Mike. Your shoulder might be talking to you. So you have to use those spinal muscles, have to support the shoulder. Yeah. We've all had injuries, and we've all climbed back from the injuries. The obstacles that get in the way, Patanjali tells us in Sutra 130, are disease, inertia, doubt, heedlessness, laziness, indiscipline of the senses, erroneous views, lack of perseverance, and backsliding. So we have tons of antarayas, or obstacles, to confront in our, not just in our life, daily yoga practice, but in our life. I think a big one for all of us, especially right now, is this, sense of doubt. Not only do we doubt ourselves, but we doubt what's going on in this world, the world we're living in currently. But we have to have the faith, trust, confidence that one day things will sort itself out. We accept what we have to accept, and we move on. Yoga gives us this ability to have, health and happiness, no matter what the state of the external world is. We can have health and happiness through this pandemic, through this tough political season. Yoga gives us this. Let yourself go completely physically. Let loose everywhere. Have a couple deeper, longer inhalations and exhalations, and then let your breath come to a more shallow, restful place. And as you did at the beginning of class, I ask you to, remove your mind from any external noise. So you've done that. Now you have to remove yourself from the internal noise. Focus on just one thing. One thing. Maybe it's your breath. Maybe it's a favorite saying, a mantra that's favorite to you. But you have a choice. You have a choice on whether to follow the busyness of the mind or follow the relaxation of the body. So it's true, the body is largely tamas. It's heavy, it's got a mass to it, but the mind is much more mercurial. You can go around the world in your mind in a matter of seconds or so. So now we have to find that balance. It's the three gunas, those three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, where the body is largely tamasic and the mind is largely sattvic. We have to find the balance. And that's the goal in not only our yoga practice, but in our life. As we confront the obstacles. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Fold the limbs in one at a time. Roll over to your right side. Stay on your right side for a couple breaths. Okay, and then let your left hand mostly push you up until you're about halfway up, and then the right hand can help. Head stays down. Head is the last thing to lift. Sit up straight and evenly in whatever Vajrasana, Swastikasana, Virasana, Dandasana, whatever pose you can feel like you're sitting up straight. And then bring your hands to your heart. And gratitude for this practice, dating all the way back to the ancient teachers. And gratitude for Austin Yoga Tree and the community it gives us. Namaste.